In a week's time, I went from being a local up-and-coming funk creator, funk artist, funk photo video guy person. We'll go with that. In less than 2 weeks' time, I flew all the way to Denver for the 1-year anniversary of Phonk Around and Find Out. And the real question I do want to answer, was going to the Phonk Around and Find Out show really worth it? Or was it actually one of the biggest regrets I actually made in my entire life? It's the beginning of January. A new year started, songs are dropping, people are posting, funk is steadily drifting into the mouth of the evil
TikTok overlords.
However, something big is about to happen. Not just for the funk space, but live shows for the entire funk community. On January 7th, while I was shooting photos on my groovy iPhone rig, shout out to Charity Sound System, and while I was chatting with my homie Bad Kids and Saint, I got a Discord notification. Obviously, I'm on there a lot, but that night I saw a correlation not just with the live events, but also expanding into other areas to shoot live sets, and documenting my journey on being a top creator in the funk community. On January 5th, 2 days prior from actually shooting this live set, the world's greatest imposter, depending on what alias he is going as during that time, Yakai dropped an announcement in his Discord server, and it read, "At everyone, want to be in my next video? Come see me DJ with Ryan Celsius in Denver next Friday, January 13th. So what happened? Well, not the telltale norm of how this video was actually gonna go. When I got the notification while the show is set to be on January 13th, it seemed impossible to get to both places on such a short notice. I had to factor in work schedules, my personal life, expenses, not just to get myself there, but to brace myself for any equipment I needed to document, and I was met with plenty of distress. My boss gave me the logistical business rundown saying, "Dude, you're the greatest sponge in the 7 seas, but unless you find coverage, I need another player to cover you." And I was
Flamed and
fuming. 1,000 thoughts racing, different situations, and HR is going to be on my side for the absolute hands I'm about to throw. Just kidding. I don't know why I put that in there. The best advice I ever gotten in my life was this: keep a level head and don't make decisions on emotions. The world has its way of telling you the right decision. And with that, as well as a lengthy call with my best friends blowing my eardrums out, sounded more like they were more angry about me not being able to go than I actually was. But keeping my cool was the best thing ever, because what happened next altered everything that happened for the entirety of that week. The good news, I found a homie, complete goat to cover for me on short notice. We chopped it up, switched days, and I was off to the races. I booked my plane ticket, broke the news to my friends, and they were still roasting this dude. It honestly seemed like Thanksgiving came early because the bread was really cooking in that oven. Long story short, booked my flight, set the date, but who am I going to actually stay with, and how am I actually going to get there locally? Because I don't know anybody there. Well, that's actually the next part. I linked with a good homie and very underrated producer, Rocketman, or Lil Rocketman. The conversation basically went, "Hey bro, you going to the Phonk Around and Find Out this weekend?" He said, "Hell yeah," in the most chill voice possible. And I popped the question, "Boy, you got an extra bomb shelter in your studio?" And he basically replied, "Man, I just cleaned this thing out this week. Of course he could come over here." And just from that simple 10 to 20 minute conversation, just chopping it up from funk, one Lyft ride later, a TSA pat down later, and I am on my way to go to the Black Box in Denver, Colorado. And obviously while I was waiting, I was listening to the newest funk show with Teddy the homie. Shout out to him. As soon as I landed, I texted him, "Bro, just landed. It's hella cold, but it's hella lit." He said, "Bet, I'll be there in like a half hour." So we met, linked up, talked about funk, cooked up some beats. He actually showed me a few cool techniques to actually DJ in the future. We chilled around town, grabbed some good food, obviously. That's something that's a necessity when you actually travel to a different place. And before then, it was time to head down to the Black Box. So what happened next? Did I funk around and find out? The live stream really didn't do it any type of justice, because that shit was a fucking vibe. Not to be confused with the aesthetic of a normal club scene, this place has its own feel and basically its own vibe, similar to every single club that you might be going to. Not too chill, not too lit, a smack dab middle ground. People in the front were going crazy, especially during the first couple of sets with Hoodie Man and Imperivm. People in the other rooms and the side rooms are also just vibing. And also the middle portion was just basically doing its own thing. And the middle portion was basically where I had my nesting ground during the entire night. And every once in a while, I would go to the second room. I saw back when Chop It Up, I saw him DJ a little bit, spin a couple of times. streams. Person after person went up a different mood, from Hoodie to Imperivm to Escape to the best imposter on the planet, Vaughn, and even back when in the other room like I previously stated, all leading up to the biggest name in the community taking the stage. Each person showed their own personality through their sets. I took away some major life lessons as well, which we will get to in the end. As the live stream was ending, you can actually see me right there getting the final snippet in this iconic photo of the homies that I actually linked with, as well as the very first photo that we all took as a Phonk around family. And not only that, this is basically the symbol of the beginning of a whole new chapter in this community. New shows, new friends, new connections, and above all else, new lessons to be learned. And the sponsor of this video is the subscribe button. My goal this year is to make this a bigger part of my life, creating content, growing a community, and above all else, meeting the people behind the numbers on this channel to reach over 1,000 subscribers and possibly even 5,000 subscribers in the next couple of years. It's a promise that I want to keep, and with that being all, I have one final word. I learned a lot from this trip. You truly only live once, even though it sounds kind of cliche. And a quote that I learned from one of my favorite teachers of all time back in high school. Sound like such an old head. Shout out Mr. Davis. Your gravestone has a day you were born, and there will be a day you will soon be gone from this road. But that dash in the middle is the most important. What you do during this dash carries the most weight. Memories, lessons, heartbreak, and above all else, the life you chose and the people that have been impacted by you. Before I go, there is a link in the description that will take you to the lineup. My semi-new Discord server, there are only a few people in there right now. This is for people that either have meetups, are gonna have shows in the future, etc. And this is basically the grounds for everybody to share those links for anybody that might be interested in going to future shows that are in the Phonk community, or they might be in a separate music genre community. So with that being said, thank you for anybody that stayed tuned to the final portion of this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, because this is the very beginning of something very great. And I will see you all in the next video.